Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Monday. We're on the 9th of February, 2026. The first day after GDQ Back to Black's conclusion. I had a good time. The runs went about as well as I would have hoped for them to go. The commentary was excellent. Even people that I had help out with commentary. And even the other runs from the other runners were great as well. Once again, thanks to GDQ for having me on there. Next steps are going to be kind of weird for me in the lead up to the middle of the year, because I want to still grind out Aria Sorrow, but I also need to start thinking forward towards SGDQ submissions, and for that I plan on having Afterimage 100% available. But I thought about it a bit more after the weekend. I'm actually considering maybe submitting Bloodstained Rando as well, because I was looking back at previous GDQ events, and the only other time that Bloodstained Ritual of the Night Rando was at GDQ was near the game's initial release. Bobby showcased it during Hotfix, I believe, and that might have been the only other one. So I wonder if the committee's interested in having it on a main stage event, but we'll see. We'll see. It would be better to submit it as a race, but it's not. I'm not certain. Sometimes it's easier to show it solo, but I think a race would add to the excitement, because a lot of people are definitely interested in races, myself included. So we'll see. But for now, of course, Afterimage would be my primary submission of focus. Yeah. But anyway, that's not what we're doing today. We're just gonna watch back the runs from the events, and we're gonna do some Aria prac for a little bit, and then we're gonna start our next blind playthrough, which is for Valkyrie Profile 2 Sumeria. I'm really excited to play that game. I enjoyed the first game quite a bit when I played it in the mid to late last year. I played the PS1 version of the first game. It was awesome. Quickly became one of my favorite games. So I'm hoping to receive the same enjoyment from from the second game. The second game was actually the first game I was interested in, because what got me into like trying out Valkyrie Profile in the first place was seeing a review someone gave of the second game in their like list of RPGs, basically. I can't actually remember what led me to checking that out, but I think I was looking for like DS RPGs, and I saw the Covenant of the Plume there. Got that for myself, and I'm like, I should probably play the first few games first. So yeah, that's what led me to eventually trying out the first game. But anyway, the second game, I'm looking forward to it. We're going to start it later, after we do this watch back of the runs. So we'll watch the Aria run first, since it's shorter. And it's fresher on my mind. Yeah, hey everybody. Okay, we won't need the audio to be on. But yeah, Bayrex and Chewy did excellently with the commentary. It's really hard for me to talk while playing this game, so the main focus I had was just to be able to execute the run, and then have people that are more knowledgeable than me for sure, be able to talk about it, give the explanations. 'Cause I think that's important. Whenever someone's watching back on a run, especially in a marathon setting, they want to be able to hear what the run's about, because that's not something you'll be able to gather from watching a speedrunner stream. One thing I'll say is I need to probably prepare a more canned intro next time for Aria. I kind of had an intro in mind for Bloodstained, but even then I don't think I delivered it exactly how I wanted. And the same went for Aria. I should have given more background on the category and my experience with running the game, but I was kind of just too eager to get the run started, because, you know, that's what all the practice had gone into. But I'll do some more practice of the intro for the future. Yeah, I was actually kind of worried about the Baslar minip. That's the minip that was just done there, because in the runs I've been doing lately, I've kind of been messing it up a few times. But getting on the first try in the marathon was a relief. I'm sure because of that, a lot of people didn't even notice, but that's not a bad thing necessarily. The movement throughout the run was actually much better than most runs I do like normally, which is pretty crazy. And especially like I had major relief for getting the first try on Bachelor Manip. That was like a massive relief. I said Bachelor Manip, Creaking Skull Manip. Well, Bachelor Manip as well, but like Creaking Skull Manip is the main thing. This manip is not necessarily easy. Like, I think the thing about this manip is that it's much faster than the typical manip that they recommend for people to start out with. But it's also not the fastest manip. And it has some like weird precision intricacies about it that are too numerous to explain quickly in a marathon context. So, you know, Chewy kept it simple, which I think was the right move. And just saying that it's precise inputs, which is still true, mind you. Yeah. But basically, like, the Creaking Soul manip is a lot more difficult than it might have seemed. And it's still not even, like, the fastest one you can do. So. But, you know, I just went with what I went with what I knew. And that's the only manip I know. Yeah, okay, I messed up this room a little bit. Basically, the platform, I can rewind just briefly. This platform right here, I didn't hold forward after I killed the bird for some reason. I think I was afraid about my positioning or something, but yeah, because of that, I kind of messed up the rest of the jumps. Which is fine, it's not a big deal. But that room looks like extra stylish when you get it correctly, so I was hoping to be able to do it properly. I at least got the strap for this room, which is nice. Yeah, and same thing with this jump. This jump, I don't think the commentators were able to explain because the host was reading announcements during it, but this jump is pretty tricky. It's a boosted backdash into flying armor. There's a little bit of a degree of leniency for it, but you have to still make sure not to turn around in the air right away, because otherwise you won't get the proper momentum in the jump. Hey, what's up, Bravo? Hope you're doing well. Looks like you've been enjoying Neo quite a bit, huh? I'm glad to see that you're liking it, though. Yeah, we're just doing a little bit of post GDQ back to black reflections right now. Before I start up the next blind playthrough game. Neo's been fun. Yes, yes. Yeah, I'm glad to see it. Is it still a baby game at the point in the game you're in right now? Yeah, nice to hear. Glad you're doing well. Yeah, things are good. I've been feeling much better recently than maybe the past like 4 months. Something, you know, this is something I've had a crisis over recently, but it's like whether I'm losing, like I can feel when I'm losing time on backdashes, but I wonder if I'm losing more time on backdashes than anything else to run by this point, right? Which, you know, there might be a time where I need to start like actually like labbing the backdash, because, you know, when I was first getting into speedrunning this game, I wasn't too worried about it after hearing, you know, just like a general idea of how to do it. Oh, okay, yeah, easier than the other one so far, but still more game to get through, so we'll see. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. You know, I mean, I feel like games nowadays just kind of lean towards that within a series as there become more entries in a series, right? That's how games tend to get. But yeah, I gotcha. All right. Oh yeah. Before I talk about the backdashing more, The Great Armor fight was really good. Like, this is actually like surprisingly good. Like, the pattern wasn't necessarily best pattern or anything, but like, he barely did any of the goofiness where he just like stands still and like moves his shield forward. Like, he did this only once right there. And even right there, like, he brought his shield back after swiping. So he didn't do like the worst. Like, there's a worse thing he can do when he brings his sword down, which is like keep his shield forward the whole time. And he didn't do it there. Like, that was actually like a really good pattern. I didn't take full advantage of it, unfortunately, but I still made use of most of the health I had there. So that was the good part. Yeah, but yeah, regarding the backdashes, because I was watching back on Chewy's old route run and also some other leaderboards runs that use old route, because there are some people that are still ahead of me that use old route in the leaderboards, and I'm not doing too many things that are that different from them. But that's a deceiving thing with this game, because a lot of the time loss in this game is subtle. It's not because of strats or anything. It's not because of like the combat per se. Like, it could be because of the combat, but it's not as much of that as it would be like just the raw movement, not even like room strats, just raw movement. And that to me is going to be like a very disconcerting thing when the time comes. For now, I'm not going to focus on it right away. I'm just going to focus on improving Chaos 2 and Chaos 1, because those are those things stick out like a sore thumb that I need to improve in. I think every other part of the run is good enough, like even the zips. My zips nowadays are fine. Like, there's no issue, but I think Chaos 1 and 2, it's about time for me to learn those bosses properly. Because, like, basically, since forever, I've just been kind of doing whatever. Vibe combating. Vibe boss fights. Oh, yeah. So, I got cursed in this room. I forgot to mention this. I got cursed in this room. It doesn't matter that much. It's fine. But I missed both that flea man and the flea man that's at the end of this room. So I was unsure whether the XP route was still intact. So I killed an extra rock armor to be safe. Chewy was telling me about this before the run. Like, if you feel like you're not on the XP route, then you can just kill the rock armor on the way to arena. Or on the way out of the study, rather. But yeah. So that's what I did. I don't think I needed to do it, but it was definitely better to do it there than to have to deal with the gargoyle. In terms of like the amount of time taken. Also, this jump, I don't know how I messed it up the first time. I think I might have just pressed the second jump too early. No. I don't know. Or maybe I pressed the first jump too late. It's kind of, the way I messed it up was like very, very weird. Normally when I mess it up, it's like I press the second jump too early, right? Because that's the easiest way to mess it up in. But like, I messed it up in a very precise way. It's fine though, it's not a big deal. It gave Chewy a chance to point out the difficulty of the jump. That's another boosted backdash jump. So the boosted backdash jumps in this game are very peculiar. I wouldn't say they're that intuitive, to be honest. But it's, you know, it's still cool. Shop glitch. I liked their explanation of shop glitch. I still have no idea how in the world shop glitch works myself. Yeah, but you know, we'll take it. I'll take my 100 potions. Selling the mustache, yeah. Selling the mustache is hilarious, yeah. Dude, I'm like, huh? Poor hammer, yeah. Yeah, again, like the movement in this run is actually pretty good for most of my recent runs. A lot of my recent runs, I've been messing up the movement in this stretch, but like the movement in this run was actually like really good out of my most recent runs. Obviously, I was still like 1 minute and 30 off of my PB for the clear time, but that's because of taken save rooms and other safety measures. Because, you know, my PB right now is skipping the shop. So that's like 30 seconds by itself. And then the other like 1 minute would probably be from the save rooms and from slightly slow zips compared to my PB, yada yada. When I was giggling there, I'll tell you guys a story. Let me just drink the water quickly. Well, actually, before I mention about the giggling, the sound got muted during like around here for like about 20 seconds. And none of us in the voice call noticed it. None of us that were in the, so like neither the commentators nor the host nor myself noticed, because we all heard each other still in the Discord voice call. But when I watched back the Twitch stream, I saw that everyone was saying the sound was gone. So apparently the sound was just gone straight up, and it looks like they couldn't salvage it because it's the same way in the YouTube VOD that GDQ uploaded. That's a shame. It happens. I guess the host was told a little bit afterwards that it happened, but we managed to still hear the most important part of Retro Age's donation message, which was I'll unmute so that you guys can hear it, and I'll explain why I was giggling as well.
I have $5 from Retro Rage that says, I bet Konami had 6 playtesters for this speed run.
That might be a bit.
Barrick's like, that might be a little bit generous. The funny thing is, no one except for like maybe myself, Retro Rage, and like a few other people would be able to get this joke. But when I explain it, it'll make sense, trust me. So it's a reference to the number of playtesters that Silksong had listed in the credits, or that it was rumored, I guess, that how many playtesters Silksong had. I think maybe the credits even showed only 3 playtesters, but they had 6 from what people have said. But yeah, we were just, it was a jab at Silksong, right? But no one's gonna get that because it's super esoteric. The thing is, it's a perfect joke because it fits like with the situation still, you know, with how broken Aria of Sorrow is and all like the old Castlevanias are. Yeah, so it was a perfect donation message. It was an in joke, but like a well disguised in joke. So Retro Age is brilliant for that one. All right, I'll rewind a little bit to talk about this. So I think the host was talking as I was doing the bull zip, but this zip is just you stand on its back in a certain spot, and then when it turns around, it flings you off, and then you have to backdash when it does that, so that it puts you into the wall, and then you zip upwards. And this particular spot to zip from takes you to arena for whatever reason. This room is, I mean, I think Barracks or Chewy, or one of them, mentioned already about the nature of this room. It's pretty hard to get through, especially because it's late game. But with the experience route that we used, it allows us to not take knockback from the enemies, so we can just damage boost through them with no problem. Of course, we have to budget the health still. And if I made any major mistake, I would have to make use of the potions that we got from Shop Glitch. But this was a pretty smooth traversal through that room and out of it. This little maneuver around these two enemies is actually like a lot tighter than it might seem. You have to specifically manip this Skeleton Knight enemy to put up its guard at a certain spot so that the next enemy like doesn't like immediately hit you as this, like, because this is like sort of an input reading enemy, right? If you attack, then it'll like change its action, it'll become more aggressive and stuff like that. It kind of moves like how a Silksong flying enemy moves slightly, but not as aggressive as some of the other versions of it. But regardless, if you get it to like guard in a certain spot, it'll change the way this guy behaves. So with the spot I attacked to get this guy to guard, it changed the way this guy behaved, and it made him go away pretty much. So no problem. And then this jump as well is pretty precise. You have to jump. So as you enter the room, you have to make sure to jump between the gap where this chariot enemy is and where the gargoyle is swooping down, so that the gargoyle doesn't like auto turn around and chase you as you go to the room. Because if you don't jump in the right spot, the gargoyle will actually just turn around and chase you, and you'll get hit in the air. And it's really it makes the room like a nightmare. So it's a lot more difficult than it might seem. But yeah, and then this room is also tricky. I actually don't have a consistent way of not getting hit by the Were Tiger. I'm pretty much right now, I'm kind of just hoping for it to not jump backwards or not delay its attack. So in this case, it jumped forward, so it was chill. But if it jumps forward, I feel comfortable with the timing to jump over it. But it's very tight. It's a very narrow passage, and you see how it does its Shoryuken. Like it can catch you if you're not careful. But of course, it wouldn't matter. I mean, in the marathon run, we have so much healing. It's not a big deal. But I still wanted to be able to do the traversal the way I would in a normal run. All right, and then this velour. So this velour was fine. It wasn't bad per se, but I think I got a little bit unlucky because the one mistake I made was like super punished. Basically I got hit by the left hand, because the velour was already desyncing, and that single hit caused the entire boss to like just go on complete desync wackiness. So it's unfortunate. But the fight was like pretty good for the most part still, I would say. Phase 2, I was trying to be very aggressive just to like, you know, pull off the way I would prefer to pull off that fight. Like, you know, if it were done in a more optimal manner. See, like, okay, this is what I'm talking about. It got like barely desynced, right? This kind of desync is not what we want because we have to wait longer. But because it got like barely desynced, it messed up the whole fight, and then his other hand stopped working, right? But it's fine. It's not a big deal. Again, phase 2, I was trying to do like the optimal jump slashes where you can get 3 in one jump, but I kept missing it, which is, it's not a big deal. But there was a good adjustment I did that I don't I'm not normally good with this, but it's to move to the left or right slightly to make sure you don't get hit by the oncoming pillar, like that one right there. The triple hits in one jump is a lot easier when velour is positioned higher. But the positioning he has for phase 2 is sort of random. So apparently you can RNG manip it, and such an RNG manip is used in the any % run, I think, or the all bosses run, or one of those or something. Oh, maybe not the any % run. The any % run nowadays is like really broken out its mind, but I think for the all bosses run, there's an RNG manip that you can use to get the head positioned in like the better spot. But yeah, it was a good velour. One hit away from dying during that fight. I was trying to look back at this, right? I can't tell if it's because the frame rate was slightly deducted during this moment, but I was like, why did the save display cut out? Like, you see how it looks right now, guys? I was like, why did the display like not show like the boxes for the options? I was trying to see if I did like a frame perfect save or something for it to not show them, but I'm pretty sure it's just because it trimmed away some of the frames. Because I don't think it was exactly 60 FPS in this moment for the stream, so that's probably what happened. Naturally, it's gonna happen when you have to deal with a remote production, you know. I mean, I have Ethernet, but my ISP is still just Garbo, so. All right, then for the zips, yeah, I didn't get first try, but it was still pretty quick, so no big deal. We got the lubricant dodges, which is awesome. This is the other enemy I was talking about that has the input reading nonsense. And it literally input reads. It's not even like a movement read, it's an input read straight up. So if you hold right long enough into this wall, then it'll just go off the screen and it won't bother you anymore. Then we get the zip here to get into the wall. During this point, I think the commentators were and this is something Chewy mentioned as well. Like, you know, they were trying to be careful about not talking while I was doing the zips and stuff, just in case it would distract me. But I was telling them, like, it's fine. Like, the only issue I would have is if I'm the one talking, right? Because I can't really play this game while talking very well. But yeah, I think they still did a good job, given like a condensed explanation. So I was worried about this zip because I did the bat transformation here pretty early to like leave this room. You see, I did it pretty early compared to how I normally do. I normally try to do it like further up in this room because it gives me a little chance to like visually spot myself, right? But I did it pretty early, so I ended up pretty low into this room. And the lower you end up in this room right here, the less time, like the less leniency you have to hit the bat untransform before you exit before you exit being out of bounds, basically. So what I'm trying to say is like this amount of like terrain out of bounds is the amount of chance, like the amount of leeway that you have to untransform so that you can zip upwards. So the lower you are, you have a less of a leniency. But at the end of the day, like it's kind of hard to, it's kind of impractical to time it visually. So you just kind of gotta mash. So I was mashing for my life right here, and that's why I was relieved when I got in, because I was like, yikes, this is pretty low. And for the last zip, I took a little bit for it because I was, you know, heart beating, that kind of thing. I'm like, wow, we got to the end smoothly. But it's chill. There's no big deal. See, at this point in the run, as long as I get in, then we're fine. And I eventually got in. At least once I got into the wall, I managed to zip through the wall. So then Chaos, yeah, again, like, I have a lot of work to do on this boss. Yeah, I have a lot of work to do on this boss. I mean, this fight was not the worst, but I definitely need to learn it properly, so I'm not like missing free damage, you know. But again, it was fine. I think for like this kind of marathon run, it was fine. And once again, or not once again, I don't think I mentioned it, but I'll do a mirror upload on this channel pretty soon once I get the description populated with stuff I want in it. I'll publish the mirror uploads so that you guys can find it on this channel as well. Yeah, this Chaos 2 fight, I mean, it was good enough. This pattern was very nasty. Like a lot of spots where the snake was just trying to get in my way at the exact spot I was in. A lot of forced dodges, like having to dodge the ball, having to dodge the spikes, having to dodge the snake here. And then, yeah, getting hit by that. Lost DPS there, having to duck under the snake. Again, I didn't want to have to use healing too much, right? So, I wanted to illustrate that the healing was not like the crutch, but rather the backup, you know, the marathon safety of the run. Because, of course, having like 100 potions is some nonsense for this game. You're not even allowed to have that many if you play the game normally. You can only carry up to 9 potions. But if you're playing the game normally, you wouldn't be here with such a low level, so that's something worth considering too. But yeah, 1540 was like, I mean, it didn't register for me. You know, in the moment. But 1540 is definitely a good time for this route and with shop glitch and in the marathon context. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I do think I'll stick with old route for some time still. I don't quite want to switch to Manticore route or anything like that, especially since I feel like I have so much to still improve in. But you know, I'm glad to have this like this run as like immortalized part of the Aria of Sorrow speedrun journey. It's definitely nice. And it's also, I was looking back at it too. It seems like old route has not been run at GDQ very frequently. So maybe this was the first one in a while. Yeah. Aria of Sorrow in 2026. But yeah, not much else to say about this run. The Bloodstain run, we won't watch the whole thing. I'll skip through some of the parts to talk about stuff, because, you know, I mean... Oh, how much time save do I have in my current route? That's such a tough question to answer, because, dude, backdash movement accounts for so much time. It's actually crazy. Like, Chewy's best time, like Chewy's the world record holder for this category in general, and he did a run on old route and got a 1240, and he has some time save on that run himself, but he got a 1240 for that run, and that's over a minute faster than my PB right now, right, on the same route. And I'm pretty sure a big portion of that, when I was looking at his splits, a big portion of that is literally just the backdash movement. I mean, obviously I can improve in the boss fights as well, but the backdash movement is literally like the substantial part of that. Dude, the run is so hard. So yeah, I don't know where I'll stop. I think once I get a sub 14, I'll be happy. But I think once I get like a low 13, I'll be satisfied, because I can definitely get like a low 13. That's within reason for me. 1240, I don't know, you know, that, I mean, I'd have to like grind a ton, which, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not like trying to seek like a good time. I'm just enjoying myself playing the game regardless. But 1240 is like pretty intimidating. I think I'd have to, like, I think I'm better off like getting like a low 13, taking a break, and then, you know, coming back with a fresh approach if I want to go for like a 12 with this route. But at that point, like, it's probably better for me to just learn the Manticore route, which is the better route, the faster route, rather than grind out the old route any further, because it's going to be diminishing returns if I'm looking at the time, right? But at the end of the day, I'm just enjoying myself, getting better at the game and stuff. But yeah, within my reach, it's probably a minute worth of time save still, which is a minute, man. It's yeah, the game is so hard. So hey, what's up, Retro Rage? Banhammer for Rabo? What? What are you talking about, dude? What's up, Retro Rage? We were talking about your donation comment, dude. Let's go, dude. Okay, so the Bloodstain Rando run, this seed was really good, actually. Really good seed for showcasing the marathon. Again, I had forgotten the nature of this seed, so playing through it and realizing like how things didn't come by easy made me like appreciate how good the seed was to set aside for the marathon context. Because, you know, obviously, for those of you who don't know, all the vetting I had done for, well, I shouldn't say vetting I had done. I pre-vetted like a bunch of seeds for myself and picked from a pool of those to do the marathon run for, right? But I hadn't remembered the details of the particular seeds. So, you know, I picked one that would fit closely with the estimate, and this one fortunately was comfortably within it for my current skill level. But that being said, like, things didn't come by for free in this seed by any means. Still had to work quite hard for it, and it allowed for things to be showcased in like, I think a way that the randomizer in this game deserves to be showcased. Because I think the built-in randomizer in this game, for sure, definitely not the best thing in the world, but for what it is, it ends up being a lot better than it probably was even expected to be by the developers themselves. Like, just imagine like a randomizer that has no proper logic and is like this, has like this level of sophistication and strategies to it as the built-in randomizer for built-in SDS randomizer does for Bloodstained. Like, it's truly incredible. Yeah, again, I'll work on like, you know, canning and introduction, or not canning, like pre-planning introduction much better for the future. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I'm just focused on doing the run when I do marathon runs for these events, but I do think having like a cleaner introduction will offer like a better storyline for people to be invested if they aren't there just for the game, you know, because most people are there just to watch the game, which I feel like is what I would do as well personally. But you want to go there to watch the game and then come away with maybe having a greater or fonder appreciation for the game and potentially its community, right? And to some degree, the runner of the game is a representation of the community. Not entirely, but of course, to some degree, right? Yeah, so interesting thing for this run that I didn't mention here, in fact, I never mentioned anywhere, is that I used a different controller for this run than I did for the practice for the run. It might sound like a bad thing, but you know, the secret's going to be out now that the controller I've been using, which I'll just show to the camera quickly, this is the controller I've been using for practice, and the right shoulder button, the right bumper button right here, R1, this button has been very like squishy for like maybe 6 months now, and it was probably from playing this game, in fact. Because when I did my first playthrough for Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, I was doing the backdash nonsense. So I was doing it from that moment through all the randomizer I played. And now I have like, I was looking at Steam the other day and I'm like, wow, I have 170 hours on this game. Like how did that happen? So just imagine, right? 170 hours of backdashing with a controller that was already like experiencing pretty intense usage from other games I was playing. Yeah, the shoulder button was probably not in the best condition, right? So I just decided to use a newer controller, which I don't have in reach right now, but it's the same controller. It's 8-bit Pro Pro 2, just newer. And the shoulder button feels way better on that one, so I'm glad I used it for the marathon run. But yeah, it's always a risk to use a different controller because you never know if the certain feel of something might change things. If I used this controller, I would have had to like backdash cancel a lot more slowly for sure, because it's hard to feel exactly where the position of the shoulder button is on this controller for whether you're activating the button actuating the button properly. Anyway, I've been talking about meta things. I haven't been talking about the run itself. I mean, I don't know. There's not much to talk about for the run itself. Like again, I think we actually gave pretty good explanations for this run during the stream. Not everything was able to be explained, and it's partially my fault. During my preparation, I didn't take a proper account of, or I didn't take properly into account, the stream of donations being read, which is normally something I take into account. So it's just my fault on that one. Hey, what's up, Zenryoku? Yo, yeah, just doing some back to black reflections. Hope you're doing well. Just doing some reflections before I do a little bit of aria prac, and then we'll start a blind playthrough. It's been nice to take in, where I've progressed with the speedruns, because something I haven't mentioned yet as well, normally after doing a marathon run, I'm like, I'm exhausted, I need to take a break, right? But for both of these runs, I'm like I still have the craving to play both of these games. Like literally on Saturday, because this run was on Friday, on the next day, Saturday, like I was just chilling because I didn't want to like overexert myself before the aria run. I was just goofing around in this game. Oh my goodness. And I still want to play more rando. Like I ended up enjoying the rando more during the practice for the event than I did when I was first like wanting to, play the rando. Because when I did my first playthrough for the game, I was like, I kind of want to play rando later on. Oh yeah, thank you, Zenroku. Appreciate the congrats. Thanks for that. Yeah, I think I ended up enjoying the randomizer more, like over time, the more I played it. And I enjoy it the most, like right now, to be honest. So I want to play more still, but you know, I gotta take a break. I gotta enjoy myself and some other things, and then I'll come back and enjoy this game more. For that matter, actually, on Sunday after the Aria run, I played some Soten rando for the first time in like what 6 months, I think it was, because that was the last time I was 6 months ago, or no, not 6 months ago. No, it was 6 months ago. Yeah, 6 months ago I was practicing for the Juneteenth marathon for Spellbound, and after that run, I was like, I'm taking a break, right? Because Spellbound is exhausting. But going back to it, like Soten just feels so good. Soten feels so good. It was like it was a joy to like just boot up that game again after playing a lot of Bloodstained in preparation for this marathon, you know. But that to me like says as well that there's like good reasons for me to go back to each individual game, which is not only a testament to how well made these games are, but also, you know, I don't have to feel like I'm like forcing myself to play them in any regard. Like, you know, it's an easy anti-burnout measure. But yeah, honestly, there's not that much to say about this run. I'll mention a few things I did forget to mention though. So I'll skip forward a little bit to it. I forgot to mention, or no, I just forgot entirely the Alcahest. I noticed when I got the drop from, I think it was this enemy or something, one of these enemies. Yeah, I got the Alcahest drop right there. And Alcahest is supposed to help you with dismantling items so that you can get materials, right? And in the randomizer, that's huge because it allows you to get materials that you would probably have a hard time getting otherwise without, like, you know, doing like a super long playthrough of each seed. So it's really important to take note of when you get Alcahest, especially in a pool like this. When you see Alcahest ×2, this is telegraphing the enemy drop table that it got shuffled into. Because the way drops work in randomizer, they're shuffled. The table of an enemy's drops are shuffled together. They're never separated from each other. So if you see that an enemy drops X amount of this, and that's like a unique drop entry in that enemy's drop table, then you know for sure what other things that enemy will also drop. And I forgot to mention that as well, but that would have been something easy to mention along with the Alcahest. It's just that I noticed it, and then like it's hard, guys. Like, you know, like I have planned out like all the explanations I want to do, right? And then, you know, Bobby's helping out with the explanations, and really appreciated his help with the commentary. Like, it was invaluable having him on there because it not only eases the nerves, but also allows for, you know, a different perspective to be brought for the explanations. Because sometimes, you know, I'm thinking in only one singular direction, so it can be hard to present everything in the way they deserve to be presented. But, you know, when there's like multiple trains of thought going through your mind as you're playing a seed, right? Like, you have to decide on the fly how you want to play the seed, and you have to decide how you want to explain stuff, right? Midway through it as you're doing the thing. So take into account these factors. You're playing the seed, so you're making decisions while you're playing it, because you can't like plan out the seed, right? It's not like a speedrun where everything is like rehearsed, basically. Like, I mean, partially the randomizer is rehearsed too, but you get what I'm saying. You have to make on-the-fly decisions. So you have to make decisions on the fly. You have to explain everything, and you have to play the game, right? It's not like the game is being played for you. You have to play the game as well. Like, all these things make it hard to, you know, just maintain your train of thought. So there were several times where I was like about to explain something and then interrupted myself with like another thing or whatever, and forgot to just go back to the original thing. And it just sucks. It's hard. So, but I think I uniquely have this difficulty with rando. But I don't know. I mean, I want to believe that, but I feel like with Afterimage, I don't generally have trouble with explaining stuff. But I have like way more hours on Afterimage compared to this game. So that's part of it too, I guess. For sure, that sounds really hard to do. Yeah, dude. It's I'm still trying to figure out how to do it in the best way. But really, the best way for me to compensate for it is just to like prepare as much as I can. Like my philosophy is still, I'll practice the run so darn much that I can do it without having to think too hard about the run itself, so that I can focus on the explanations. You know, like that's the approach I want to take. Right, and that's the approach I took for SGDQ in 24. That's the approach I took for the Soten Rando run last year, and of course all the Afterimage runs and the other online marathons. Right, that's the approach I took for Aria as well. And Aria is not a game I have that many hours on. I'd have to be really familiar with the game. Yeah, exactly. And like watching back on the run before today, and also watching the stream of Tony Ortiz, who's the player that I learned a lot from, just made me realize like how much more there is for me to learn about this game to be like very comfortable and experienced, you know. But because of that, it definitely motivates me to keep playing, right? And I'm still enjoying it, right? It's not like I'm not enjoying it. Again, even after like a run I would enjoy, typically I'll just take a break from that category or game for a while, because, you know, marathon grinds are exhausting, you know. But in the case of both Bloodstained and Aria, like I still want to keep playing. But even with the fact that I want to keep playing, I should just take a break still, just reasonably, because, you know, if the burnout hasn't happened yet, it can happen later on, and it's no good to burn yourself out on video games, which are literally meant to be fun, right? Unless you're talking about runbacks, because Reddit will have you believe that runbacks are meant to not be fun. Like when you say, oh, runbacks are not fun, they'll say, oh, here I go again. They'll say, no, runbacks are meant to not be fun. That's the point. Anyway, yeah, but anyway, like even here, I was getting to explain about the inventory setup I want to have, not the runback Discord. Yeah, it always resurfaces, you know. Tucked deep within me. Yeah, even here, I was about to explain the inventory stuff, like the idea of like what things you want to have in your inventory equipped, and then I interrupted myself with the white shard because I got the white shard check right there, and then I never went back to the inventory stuff. Not only that, but I never also went back to like the safety check, which is the entire point of going to the left. Like I did all that traversal going to the left here to do the safety check, and I'm like, yeah, let me explain the safety check, right? Bobby, rightfully so, decides to explain the invert itself, which is the more important thing to explain for sure. But then I forget to explain the safety check. So we literally never brought it up ever again. And again, my fault, right? Like I had it outlined in the stuff I was going to explain, the safety checks. I forgot to go back to it though. It's just, yeah, it's just tough, you guys. It's just tough. It's just tough. The way you get better at doing these things is doing more runs, right? Doing more runs, doing more marathon runs. And I do think I'm getting better, but like I'm also running for different games now. Like like a few years ago, 2024, 2025, I was doing mostly Afterimage, right? For marathon runs. So it was the same game, right? Just different category, but like I played that game a lot. For the most recent year and a half or so, I've been running some other games like Aria, like Bloodstained. So naturally, it's hard to split your attention enough where you can have requisite familiarity to be able to have that degree of comfort that you have with the game that you have the most time on. So yeah, I mean, the way to improve is one, to just do the run more, but also, you know, just apply yourself in that setting more as well. And, you know, with time, it becomes second nature is the hope. This background music is jamming hard right now. Real quick, where is it from? It's from your favorite anime that that I happen to like. Not your favorite anime. It's called a K Project. This track is, what is it? This is Kizuna, I think. Yeah, Kizuna. But it's from K Project, specifically K Return of Kings. Yeah, music on stream has not been working for me, so I don't have the little widget that shows the song that's currently playing. Yee, boppin'? Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say. Again, I think most stuff was still explained in this run, but I am like, I was kind of in a crisis after the run because I was like, man, I forgot to explain so many things that I wanted to, and I'm not even sure what I can do about it. Like, maybe just play the game more. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, you know, again, like, I don't necessarily... Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think this run went bad. I think this run still went very well. And I think this seed was also, like, just a great showcase seed. But, I'm just trying to think of, like, how I can improve further. Anyone that's tried doing it will know how hard it is, kind of similar to FG commentary. Yeah, oh yeah. Dude, I was thinking about that too, right? Like it's so funny how, like, the mind works, but the more I've been doing marathon runs, the more I start thinking about, like, how all these moving parts have been necessary to make, like, a smooth marathon succeed, you know? And I'm like, man, like, hosting is hard too. Like, hosts have a very difficult job, you know? And I think in order for the host to be doing, like, in order for the host to, like, perform the best they can possibly perform, there must be, like, so much prep involved to be able to do so, right? And on top of that, you have to kind of familiarize yourself with the runner's runs. I'm not sure how hosts approach it, but yeah, I mean, it's it feels so beyond me to, like, you know, see myself doing something like that. Like, you have to be such a confident public speaker. I can only really do such a thing for something I'm already very familiar with or very, like, confident or comfortable in. I, like, genuinely, guys, like, I don't think I mentioned it very much after the SGDQ run, but the SGDQ run in, like, 2024 was probably the hardest, like, I mean, genuinely, like, the hardest thing I've probably done in my life. Like, I'm not even talking about the preparation. I'm talking about, like, in the actual moment. Like, I was so nervous. It was, it's a miracle I made it through that. I'm not sure how much it showed, but yeah, I was super, super nervous. But with watching more GDQ events, even from the past, and also just becoming more in tune with the speedrun community, I think it wouldn't be as bad if I were to do it again, with the, like, the nerves, that is, but you never know. I was nervous for these runs. Good grief. So yeah, but all right. Yeah. Oh yeah, one other thing I'll mention that I forgot to explain, because again, like, most of it is, like, whatever. You can just watch the run yourself. I think the run was pretty good for explanations and stuff. But I forgot that I had Bull-Eyed Blast in my inventory. I don't remember when I even got it, to be honest. Like, I legit just, like, did not even see it in my inventory. I think I might have seen it, but at the time I saw it was not the time where I needed to, like, notice that I had it to think about using it for the final bosses. But Bull-Eyed Blast is something that you can use to stun lock the last boss, or the second to last boss, Dominique. Actually, I was gonna pull this up. Let me see if I can still pull it up, because I don't have the scene set up properly right now. So just give me one moment, guys. But I can show this off right now with the stun locking thing. Gotta do main file for this. But, okay, I have it equipped right now. So this is Bolide Blast. It's just like an explosion at a certain spot, and you can aim it, right? And you see that, it's kind of hard to see, but you see that was a little like a reticle right there, where I'm aiming with the right analog stick. That's the spot where it would explode in. And to use it, you know, it costs mana, obviously, but, how do I say this? But it has a cooldown as well. It's not just the mana cost, it has a cooldown. So if you were to use it and stun the boss with this way, the cooldown might prevent you from stun locking, right? But the way you stun lock is by doing short hops to like cancel part of the recovery so that you can do the next one pretty quickly after. It's pretty tricky to do it though. And what a lot of players end up doing is just not using the right analog stick at all, and instead using the positioning, the spacing to like aim it. Because when you don't have the right analog stick protruded, by default it'll aim in the direction you're facing and space it based on that. Space based on that, basically. So you do like short hops like this, basically, and you can stun lock bosses with that. But I'd forgotten that I had this in my inventory, because you can use this to stun lock Dominique. Let me see if I can go to Dominique right now. This is a completed save, so don't be alarmed by the fact that I'm moving so fast or whatever. This is expected when you've done an obscene amount of grinding. Was the seed I speedran a seed I practiced or a seed I rolled at the start of the live run? Yeah, I mentioned it shortly before you joined, Zenryoku, but it's a pre-vetted seed. Pre-vetted meaning it's a confirmed that it's not a soft lock seed, pretty much, and it's a seed I vetted myself, basically. When I was doing practice for the event, I set aside seeds that I thought would be good to show at the marathon, and then, you know, I try to forget about them, right? Meaning the way to forget about them is to have enough time pass between the time you're setting aside seeds and the time of the run, or to just play like a bunch of seeds, pretty much, right? So I played a bunch of seeds and also made sure not to set aside seeds too quickly before, with too little time before the run would start, right? But yeah, that was a seed I had played before, but had no recollection of, so. Yeah, it was not rolled at the start of the run. Sadly, the Bloodstain STS Rando settings are such that the soft lock percentage or soft lock rate is too high to just do like a blind seed. So we have to have pre-vetted. There's not really a feasible way to showcase in a marathon otherwise. I forgot about these cutscenes. Oh my goodness. Because I've been playing on all these randomizer files. Oh my goodness, dude. All right, so where's my Bolide Blast? Yeah, that's how it looked like. that's how it's supposed to be done, right? That's what I should have been able to do during the marathon if I had remembered that I had Bolide Blast in my inventory, but I did not, right? And you saw how that costed mana. Like you can see at the okay, my finger can't really point to it like properly, but it's at like the purple bar right there is the mana cost, right? It wouldn't have costed any mana during the marathon because I had Jeeble's glasses. So yeah, but anyway, that's why I'm sad I forgot I had it in my inventory, because we could have easily stun locked Dominique, and then you know, the final boss was trivial, as you guys saw with Standstill. And speaking of that, I actually don't think I explained Standstill properly in the run either, to be honest. Because when I used it, I just mentioned like earlier in the run that like, hey, this is good for the final boss, but I'm not sure if we'll be able to use it because we need Jeeble's glasses to make it usable. But then I ended up finding Jeeble's glasses, and I think I forgot to go back and mention what exactly Standstill does. So I'm sure people were confused that the final boss, we were like hyping it up as like a hard boss, and then I just ended up killing it with the time stop from Standstill. But, you know, again, It's unfortunate. What was I going to say? Yeah, but yeah, I wish I had explained standstill better, basically. I mean, it's fine at the end of the day that I forgot Spole Blast, because we got to see what Dominique is like, and she's a terror of a boss. Oh my goodness. We got to see the power of her elbow. We got to see some of her nasty distance patterns. So I guess it kind of worked out. And it's not like Chisel Barrage, the shard that I ended up using. It's not that Chisel Barrage is even that bad anyway. So I feel like it's still allowed for it to be seen that she's like a threat of a boss, you know, and she's not like a pushover. Yeah. All right. Anyway, and then yeah. Oh yeah, there was supposed to be a flashing light warning for this boss. Maybe I told them in advance, but maybe I needed to say it during the run for them to put up the warning. So for anyone that's like photosensitive, I feel bad because there was not really like proper warning for it. But I know for next time now that I probably have to just say it during the run. Saying it ahead of time doesn't necessarily mean that they'll put it on the screen. But yeah, yeah, overall, I'm glad I was able to showcase both of these games. It was truly an honor. I don't know if anyone from GDQ watches my streams, but you know, if they do, then thanks for having me on again. It's always a pleasure. The folks over there are very sweet. Yeah, I mean, so, you know, from here, I'm just going to be doing some more aria runs. We'll start getting back into Afterimage again, and then I'll work on my backlog with the time that's available in between. I wanted to also learn the presets that are going to be used for the spring tournament for Soot and Rando, but I'm not sure how much time I'll have. I mean, at minimum, I'll try to participate, and then we'll see if I have time to actually like, practice. But if not, it's no big deal. The presets this time around are actually really good. This time, Jupiter let the community vote on the presets, so the community was able to select some of the best presets that we have right now. So it should be a good time, this one. I want to make sure to still participate if I can. All right. Yeah, sorry my voice is a little shot. Sadly. Allergies can be like that. Okie doke. Let's do Aria for a little bit, and then we'll play Valkyrie Profile 2. Give me a moment for that. Sadly, while we're playing Aria, we won't be using the music, so we have to say goodbye to the music. I won't cut it off just yet, though. Only once I launch the game. Oh yeah. We need to do a Reddit reading day. We'll have to see what day of the week we can do that. Because I still haven't read through the runback thread I made on r/Metrovania on stream. So, or misplaced modifier moment. I haven't read through on stream the the R6 Metroidvania post that I made. So we need to do that. There's a small chance that some of those comments are deleted by now, since it's been a little bit since I made the post. It seems that people are pretty fond of deleting posts they make in shame. From what I've noticed. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. Oh, sick art. Thank you. Yeah, this was made by a I hope this VOD doesn't get age restricted for me saying this, but I've said worse things while playing Isaac. Poop Man Box Man is his tag. It's one of Waka's friends. Yeah, he's a really good artist. His Twitter is in the description. Go give him a follow. He's a really good artist. I was actually planning on asking him for some more assets last year, but I hadn't thought of any new ideas by the time I wanted to, so I'll probably ask him later this year. Yeah, his name is definitely a name. Yeah, I was gonna say, I didn't talk about the 2XKO news. Maybe we should talk about that before starting the aria. We have some time. Chit-chatting. Let me pull up the scene for that one moment. Emptiness. All right, 2XKO news. Layoffs. Oh dear, second result from Google. That's dire. Half the team, dude, yeah. It's absolutely wrecked. It's brutal, man. So, the news that pretty much has been all over the FGC today. 2XKO laid off half of their team following Frosty Faustings, which was the first major tournament for the game since its launch. Frosty Faustings seems like a success to me regarding the health of the game, at least. Like, people seemed excited about the competitive scene afterwards, you know, given the storyline behind Bleed's victory, and even Supernoon getting second place is incredible for him. He got picked up recently by Evil Genius's sponsorship deal. So that's like a huge win for Evil Geniuses and Supernoon. But this news of layoffs does not really inspire confidence for the future of the game. I mean, this game already has quite a number of issues with confidence from, like, inspiring confidence from the players, from folks that pay attention to the stuff. Because they initially promised, right, that they wouldn't do like 2-week patches kind of thing, similar to how they do for League. And yet it seems like with the number of times they've wanted to change the game on a fundamental level, that this game is being changed more often than League gets changed in a single year. Like, what? You know? I think they just need to settle for a vision and stick with it and face the consequences one way or another. Because at this point, this whiff waffling is doing no one any favors. Like, we still don't really understand who this game is for, right? Actually, no, we do. We do quite understand who this game is for. This game is for tag players, the Marvel 3 folks. Games cooked, they do not know how to make games. Dude, I think the thing about this game is that it has such wonderful people on the board, like on board making this game involved. Like, you know, Marlon Pi, Apology Man, Yohozi, At the Flip, like they're all like marquee names in the FGC, right? Like or marquee is not the right word, but they're all big names. They all know what they're doing, right? As far as like, you know, they played a lot of fighting games. And yet, how is this project such like a colossal failure, you know? What went wrong? And I think it's just a lack of a solidified vision. Like, do they want this game to be for the League casuals or the people that watch Arcane? Do they want this game to be for dedicated fighting game players? Do they want this game to reach beyond like the typical niche audience that fighting games typically garner? Did they want this game to be like the sweatiest, goofiest kusoge out there? Fighting games are trash. I'm afraid I have to agree with that. Doomed to fail due to the genre, huh? We saw consistent trends in how players were engaging with 2xKO. The game has resonated with a passionate core audience, but overall momentum hasn't reached the level needed to support a team of this size long term. Dude, how expensive was this game? Like, I think one day when the numbers for this game release, like just like the financials of it, we're gonna be appalled, guys. We're gonna be absolutely appalled, floored. Floored is not the right word, but it's gonna be nasty. I think because for the people I've asked that are outside the FGC, they've heard of 2xKO, but they've said they've heard of it in like a way that wasn't positive to say the least. Like they got annoyed by how much they saw advertisements for it. Like I heard people as well saying on Twitch that there was like 2xKO notification or something. And you guys can judge me for my Twitch homepage if anything bad shows up. But where are we? Did I get a 2xKO notification? Yeah, but anyway, the people were complaining about getting 2xKO notifications that were like super annoying, right? And that just goes to show like how aggressive the marketing for this game was. Casuals, tag fighter makes no sense. Just look at the control scheme and the supposed vying for casual audience. Yeah, dude. The control scheme. Okay, so something worth pointing out. Having no motion inputs does not make your game more accessible for casuals inherently, necessarily. I think 2xKO is actually less accessible to casuals than a game like Virtua Fighter is, which is kind of unbelievable to say. The worst accessibility part about Virtua Fighter is not the controls, but it's the presentation of the game. A lot of people see Virtua Fighter characters and are like, these characters are so generic and like goofy, right? And they'd be right. They'd be right. Virtua Fighter characters are like the most clowned on fighting characters out there for like how normal, like how otherwise normal of a game it is, right? That's like your accessibility entry point, you know, is making the characters interesting or compelling in some way. The controls are not like the thing that's preventing people from getting into it. There's a lot of other factors. 2xKO tried to solve a problem I don't think it needed to solve. And in fact, I think it made it worse because having separate buttons for special moves is a lot to manage, you know? The first time I got into Street Fighter 4, and that was one of my first fighting games, there being like 6 buttons was like a big thing like a big hurdle for me to get over, right? And then also at the time I was using macros for the all three kicks and all three punches, because when I was playing on a 360 controller, it's just not feasible to press, you know, multiple punch buttons or multiple kick buttons at the same time, right? So you're occupying all the buttons on the controller. You got the two top left buttons of the controller for your macros, the two top right ones for heavy punch, heavy kick, and then the phase buttons for the lights and mediums. That's all the buttons of the controller. And that's a lot to me already, right? 2xKO adding more buttons at the, you know, expense of like removing command inputs, I think was actually a net negative. Or net negative because it doesn't even solve the problem for people that would be trying to get into the game. People were already not going to get into the game. They're not going to suddenly be like, oh yeah, I'm going to try out 2xKO because the inputs are easy. Like, no one's going to do that. If anything, they're going to be turned away when they see like the gameplay and it's like the grimiest on like dude, defense in 2xKO is unreasonable. Let me just throw that out there. Like, they made like BB tag / MVCI both like basically more potent, because you can create the mix-up situation so much more easily. Neutral barely exists. You call an assist once and then you can like set up a mix-up, right? And Echo and Yasuo, or Echo specifically, Echo is just so broken that I cannot believe this game. I just cannot believe this game, basically. Yeah, but anyway, I can ramble on and on. But I mean, this is sad news regardless of how you feel about the game itself. I personally know a few people that worked on 2xKO, and yeah, it's sad. But this game is just also so expensive for how little results they're putting out for it. And I think a large part of that is a lack of a solidified vision, which has come back to bite them now. Anyway, you can go read that up yourself if you want. I mean, most of you that watch the stream already know about the news, but yeah, we won't talk much further about it. I just wanted to mention a little bit. All right, let's play Aria for a little bit, and then we'll start our blind playthrough of Valkyrie profile. It's just sad, dude. They really did not set this game up for success. Truly a shame. I don't even know if this game can make it to the end of the year before end of service. Like, the thing about free-to-play live service games is that the upfront cost for releasing the game is so high. You won't really see your cost recouped until like a couple years in, when you've got an established player base and you can, you know, reduce the cost of putting out content in the game because you've already got the pipeline established. They poured so much money into ads and getting into majors and such, yeah, and just like hiring full-time employees as well, because a lot of the folks that are working on the game right now were previously contracted, right? And then there was a certain point where they got hired full-time, and that was like a sign of, like, I guess, Riot committing to getting this game released, right? But that's expensive, man. That's expensive to do. I truly wonder how the Cannon brothers were able to pull it off, convincing Riot to invest this deeply into 2xKO. I feel like it's probably just a sunk cost fallacy. Like, we poured so much into it, like we can't stop here kind of thing. It's a shame, man. But yeah, it was a fighting game doomed to have this fate, unfortunately. Sure, you remember hoping it would be good? Yeah. But dude, the version that we played at EVO 2023 is so different from the version of the game that exists right now. Like, dude, the game's undergone like what, 3 changes since we played it at EVO 2023. They need me to be on the team, or any one of us, because we could see what was going to happen. Dude, I think making a fighting game, if you're a big company, making a fighting game is a mistake. You know, okay, you can make a fighting game and have it succeed, but you need to have like a single player mode that's like a separate genre entirely that ties to the fighting game, you know? Because a fighting game in isolation is just not going to have that level of success. First day on the job, we need to change this genre of the game to not be a fighting game. Literally what I just said, dude. Dang, read my mind, Zenryoku. Hoping for FGC people like Pat the Flip would be able to spot that, but maybe pressure from up top shape the game in a certain way, or external other factors. Yeah. Think about it. They needed a 1v1 simple fighting game with a whole bunch of champions that reflects normal League of Legends. Dude, the roster being 12 characters is unbelievable. I do not know what they were thinking about that. Who thought in their right mind that it was a good idea to make the roster only 12 characters? First and most beloved Castlevania game. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. This is a good first Castlevania game to have, I must say. I'm afraid it doesn't get much better from there. What? This is a really puzzling fight. How? Okay. This is why we're practicing this. This is the thing I need to practice the most. It's the Chaos fight, Chaos 1 and 2. And when we do proper runs, we're not going to have like infinite healing or whatever, right? So. Oh, I missed the double hits there. Yeah, that's good. That's better. When that sword hits 2 statues in one attack, pure gamer feels. Yeah. Dude, yeah. The desire to be optimal. Yeah, that's the idea. We want to get 2 statues hit with 1 attack because it makes the DPS so much higher. It literally doubles your DPS, so yeah, very desirable. Ah, darn it. Okay, you think a 5v5 fighting game on a beat 'em style stage would have been experimental, but the jank would have carried it to the moon? Just like the beginning of League before roles became real. There was a beat 'em up I played on Flash called Arm of Revenge. I love that game. I loved that game, I should say. That game as a fighting game would have been sick. Hey, what's up, Chewy? Chaos Grind. Yeah. Yeah, I was talking about it earlier, but this is like the most important thing I need to improve on. So, gotta start right now. We hope you're doing well. How did the what was it? How did the Sumptorium one item go? Boring. Not just being optimal, but achieving the precise spacing and timing to get optimal. Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. It's true gamer feels, dude. I think ever since like learning all these speedruns, like even when I'm playing normal playthroughs of games, like I'm just like, I need to be more optimal, you know? That feeling never escapes you once you first experience it, you know? Pretty intense, one with 1.5 HP. Oh my goodness. Dang. Yeah, it's probably tough to get all the blobs to survive into chest, right? So, man. We had good stuff then. It sounds like you got the win at least. It wouldn't be a challenge if it weren't difficult, right? So, do you know if there's like a wiki page that explains the mechanics of this fight, or is it really just or is the knowledge very surface level? Like, is it like easy to comprehend what's going on? Because there's some times where I notice that the monster from the blue statue doesn't appear if I'm hitting something already, like a bunch of times, but sometimes it appears, and I'm wondering if it's at random, or do I need to keep hitting something, right? Okay. Yeah, no problem, no problem. Yeah, the blobs were pretty much done once we were in chest. Had to be spawning them when you needed them. Oh, yeah, yeah. Then that's definitely tough. Unsure of any article like that. I think just coincidence. Okay, yeah, I see. I was hoping that for there to be like a method to it, but that's unfortunate. Just have to get good. For once those Silksong players were right. I think I'm understanding the spot I need to stand in at least a little better, but for now I'm gonna just try to drift between the spot I want to stand in and get all the attacks I want to hit, and then afterwards we'll worry about dodging the reticle. Ooh. Mess that up. Oh, that had only one hit left, I see. It's hard to explain much about this fight, but you did give info the best you could in the chaos section of the Manticore guy. Okay, yeah, I'll take a look at that again. I was rewatching some of the tutorial stuff to get refamiliarized with the quote-unquote like ideal methods of fighting or like getting through the run, because I haven't really thought about that since first getting into the game. I've just been kind of going through the motions, you know? So I'll definitely watch back on all of them. I was remarking too at the beginning of the VOD. I'm not sure if you're here. You might have still been streaming, but I was remarking that, like, man, the amount of time that's accounted for simply by just moving better is like so substantial, and I don't even know what my approach should be for that. Like, just lab out the backdash movement was what I was thinking about doing, but I gotta like find a productive way to get better at that, right? So I'm taking care probably, but we'll see. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, dude, I was watching back your old route run, the 1240, and I was looking at the splits and I'm like, man, I'm losing time just to like backdash movement. Which on some hand is a relief, right? Because it's not like a crazy new strat I need to implement or whatever to save a lot of time. But on the other hand, that's like what they would call like an intangible in like a sport, you know? where it's like people in sports like try to argue for like the value of having coaches, and that value cannot really be seen by spectators or like fans that watch the game, but those values are readily known and understood by the players that are on that team that have that coach, and they would call them the intangibles. The backdashing feels like the intangible. It's like that. it's like some abstract theory that I'm like, man. So yeah, maybe later I'll figure that out. You know, I definitely want to get better at the stuff I can understand. At least will make me better for sure, which is the chaos fight right now. But I guess later on I have to come to terms with labbing the backdash. It always reminds you of when Jupiter tried to compare against one of your glitchless golds. Yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah. There was a time where he was also trying to figure out like what is like the optimal way to backdash, and I think I was so new to the community, so I didn't really fully comprehend the stuff that was being said. But I vaguely remember him saying something about you have to like crouch for like a frame or something. If that's the same conversation that you're talking about. He decided to just look at one room and he couldn't even get close to your time in that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think if there's anything to take away from some of those runs you've done, it's that you literally just gotta get better at the backdashes. And that like accounts for way more time than other stuff. But because that accounts for way more time than other stuff, it's like disheartening, you know? Because the other stuff in the run is arguably like harder in the sense that, you know, if you mess it up, you'll die. The run is dead. Backdashing, you don't, if you mess it up, it's not that the run is dead, it's that you lose a billion years of time. And you don't feel that you're losing the time until you watch someone else's run that's better. Exactly that. You've done the crouch thing frame perfectly like 14 times in a row or something insane. Just the goat, dude. No, but yeah, yeah, that would probably drive me crazy too if I were like running this game for a long time, you know. I don't know how long Jupiter's been running this game, but certainly long before I'd even first played this game at all. So yeah, like the aria runners nowadays just don't, like, at least for this category, don't seem as active anymore. So we're not really getting like data on stuff that would probably be useful for researching it further, you know. Like Jupiter's doing like other stuff, so kind of unfortunate. You started in 2019, so quite a while. Yeah. That makes sense. When did you start? Did you start in 2021? You first played it in 2020, but only barely. You really picked it up in 2021. Ah, okay. So you got good really fast, dude. Oh, but you were saying as well, like, people were not really, like, backdashing necessarily that well before. Because I remember watching an older Lonely run from GDQ. Can't remember which year, but she was doing the blade dance in that run. It was like 8 months for world record. Wow. That's insane. Yeah, there was a run I'd watched where she was doing blade dancing. I'm like, huh. Huge handicap? Okay, yeah, I see. Yeah, so that... Yeah, you see, like, if there were more runners, then we'd be able to, like, figure these things out more quickly. Like, I shouldn't say more runners, more active runners. That's always the issue, isn't it? So much harder just to be slower. Feels bad. Yeah. It looks cool, at least, but... you know. It's unfortunate. And here people whine about the movement in Soden. Little do they know. I'm messing around, don't worry. But I've seen so many people complain about wing smashing in Soden. I honestly don't think wing smashing is that bad. I think the backdashing in this game is like way more painful than wing smashing in Soden, but yeah, anyway. Like when out, yeah. Yeah, it looks super fast. Jupiter Climb was really discouraged at first when he was losing time and figured out he had to drop it. Yeah. Yeah, it's... Yeah. Yeah, a similar thing in Afterimage was kind of making me lose my mind a little bit that I still need to do more research on. But it was the fact that I think the frames of animation for movement play out more quickly at a higher frame rate than they do at a lower frame rate. And I've only had a suspicion so far based on my own runs, but I haven't been able to side-by-side compare with other people's runs yet, so there's no conclusion I've come to yet. And like the easiest way to test that would be to like kind of record a task, right? Like have the same exact inputs, but you know, 2 different frame rates basically. But it's kind of a pain to do that. You couldn't commit to super long grinds in this game because of blistering a couple months at most. Oh yeah, yeah. I think, yeah, for me at least, like, I kind of feel, or at least for my previous controller, I felt my D-pad wearing out. Yeah, and that's always a worry because the controller I started out with for playing this game is not the controller I use for most games nowadays. So it just feels weird to like pull out this controller just for Aria because I started out with it, and it's kind of hard to switch to DualShock 4, and it's expensive to replace now because PS4 is no longer the active market console. Frame rate stuff is a nightmare. Yeah, it sucks. Like I have to first see if whether that's the actual thing or yeah, I have to first see if it's like really the frame rate, and then after that I have to decide how we want to handle it for runs, which if it ends up being a significant thing, we'll probably just limit people to 60, which sucks because I've never run the game at 60 since I started. I've pretty much always been running at 120 and recently 165, but before that I was running at 120 almost all the time. Okay. So yeah, most of these attempts are fine. Like the main thing I need to do as the next step is dodging the reticle, which will make it definitely harder. But I'm at least getting the fight to be faster just by standing in the better spot. Bro. Dodging the reticle is just insane. Yeah. It seems like it. Yeah, at least want to get consistent at getting good damage during the fight and not taking too much damage myself, because taking damage is actually mattering now. Ah. Let's start that one over. I think that one probably had like 2 hits left. The blue statue. Pretty sure your first reticle dodge PB was an 11. Oh my goodness! Wow. Wow. So that was a Manticore route then, huh? Or did you ever do old route, or did you always do Manticore route and then you did old route for like a little bit? It's pretty good. It's what we'd prefer. You switched to Manticore when you had a high 14. Ah, okay. Okay. Gotcha. You know, yeah, look, I was looking at some of the runs on the leaderboards. I'm surprised how few people were doing old route around my current placing. Like, there is one person that's ahead of me that has a 13 with old route, Stoma SR, but most of the people that are around me did Manticore route. I can't imagine learning this game on Manticore route first. That seems... that was a pretty good fight, for sure. But yeah, that seems like so discouraging. Unless there's like some safety strats that you can do in it. Yeah, this is not as good. Yeah, that's insane. Beer Full of Belly did that. He finished one run and quit. It took months. Wow. Yeah. That's understandable. Okay, I missed 2 hits on the blue statue. Alright, but yeah, this is definitely better now. I think it helps with just knowing where to stand. Nice. Okay, and we'll do Chaos 2 a little bit, but not as much. Like, the problem with doing, like, trying to, like, learn, quote-unquote, or quote-unquote learn both in the same day is that it's like, just too much for the mental, you know? So I want to like improve on one, and then we can like incrementally improve on the other. Soma SR is the first person you watched speedrun this game in 2018. Oh wow. Wow, okay, the history. The history. Yeah. It seems like a lot of people speedrun this game in the 2010s based on those submitted runs. I mean, obviously, the 2010s was like the heyday of speedrunning in general. Okay, I shouldn't say it like that. Anyway, whatever. Never mind. It's definitely cool to see some of those early runs because, yeah, the way people played the game back then was like still really good, but like nowadays, people have gotten so much better. Speedrunning is dying. That's what these content creators would have you believe. That was too good to be true. Yeah. I was like, the statue's not firing. But yeah, if it didn't fire at the bottom, then I was gonna have trouble getting the last hit on it. I think as long as every attack hits at least one statue, then I'll feel decently happy with that, to be honest. I feel like there I missed one attack or two now. But like, you know, if the attacks are connecting something, you're at least like not wasting damage. So bruh, come on. Yeah, one hit. That sucks. How close am I to leveling on the state? You know, it's a level lower than you use in a Manticore route. Oh, true. Good question. Let's see. 333. Is that like one lubricant or something? One lubricant or one, what's the other guy called? That's like the lubricant, but without the trident. That'd be a couple enemies, so it's probably realistic. Okay. You know, I actually need to, similar to Chaos 2, I need to actually put in a little bit more time between my attacks. Like, drift in between it so that I can, yeah, so I can not waste, like, the cooldown. It's hard to consciously do. Maybe actually it's fine, because I'm still getting the damage for the most part. Like, there was only a few attacks that were whiffing in some of the earlier trials, but one attack whiffing is still pretty bad. That sucks. For backdashing. Okay, you know what? I'll probably ask in the Aria Discord and then Yeah, so that I can like see responses from some other people as well. Because I remember asking like when I was like just curious, and I feel like it made sense back then, but since then like I've not really internalized any rhythm to backdashing, so I just kind of like do it differently depending on the day, whether my fingers are feeling nimble enough. So I need to like just hear like another explanation of the timing for backdashing if anyone understands it. Yeah, nebulous, yeah. Like I don't want to have to worry. I don't want to worry about it because I know I still have points of improvement elsewhere. But at the same time, it's just a looming feeling knowing that like losing like a minute to just basic movement, you know. And maybe I'm under the wrong impression. Maybe it's not. Maybe it shouldn't be thought of as basic movement. But I can't help but feel that way because, you know, it's a fundamental. Okay, that sucks. I can't help but feel that way because it's like a fundamental aspect of the run. You thought this for a long time, but you generally think if there was some kind of tool that gave instant feedback on what was suboptimal in a backdash, every record in this game would be broken quickly. Yeah. Because yeah, if you can. Oh, that's a great point. Yeah, because I know like Zenryoku, who was in this chat earlier, he made a tool for understanding if you were like a frame early or late on a technique in a fighting game called Guilty Gear. And it's for like a specific character that needs like a kind of frame tight timing for an input to be done after you do the special move. And that tool like helps you with like doing the technique at the proper timing. Yeah, but okay, for a game like this, there's so many variables in the backdash, right? Yeah, that might be a lot harder. Stuff like that pushes the game forward so much. Oh, definitely, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's. You know how like the Super Metroid community has like a practice hack? Like, okay, first of all, the Super Metroid community is insane. Like the amount of tools that they have and stuff for labbing that game is a large part of the reason why that game is as optimized as it is today, right? But I wonder if that's something like that is feasible for like all the Vanias, you know? But someone has to be like such an expert on whatever language was used to code these games. I wonder if that's something that Fuse is experienced enough with, given that he's made the randos for GBA. But something like that would require like a community effort. It'd be interesting, yeah. Mm-hmm. Or we'll do a few more. And then, let me see. We still have a little bit of time before I'm gonna switch to Valkyrie Profile 2, so maybe we can do a few runs, like 2. Bruh. Really? Really? Do it. Okay, 2 more. That was better. Hey, what's up? Did I hear the news about Twix KO? Yeah. We were talking about that for a little bit. Before I started with Aria right now. Yeah, it's unfortunate news, but to be honest, it's also just not surprising, right? Yeah, again, we're not going to learn the Chaos 2 stuff right now. I just wanted to do a Chaos 2 attempt for some reason. Wait, this is a good fight, though. This would be a good fight if this were a run. Good fight for me, at least. Should have used Creek and Skull though. I keep forgetting that. Oh, I forgot to equip it in general. Yeah, so I, like basically to improve this, I would need to equip Creek and Skull. Very kind Chaos 2, yeah, indeed. Okay, let's do a run. A run or 2. Oh, we had some frame drops. Sorry about that. Your YouTube homepage. At least it's not filled with shorts. One of the other accounts I have that I don't use to watch people's videos has like a billion different shorts because, you know, my algorithm doesn't have anything populated, so they just put it with the generic stuff. Yeah, what the heck? Yeah. Okay. 80% of views on YouTube are shorts. Oh my goodness. 80%? Dude, society is toast. That's what that says. That is completely wrecked. Miguel language. Oh, I already forgot the manip. Come on. It works as much as we don't like it. Yeah. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Dude, I'm so glad though that YouTube added a button where you can like tell them to show you less shorts. Also, bruh, come on. Yeah, like you can tell them to show you fewer shorts now. That's nice. News to you? Oh. Oh no, on desktop. I don't think I've seen it on mobile. Where's the button to show you more shorts? Oh dear. Yeah, I saw it recently. It was like maybe a month ago, maybe. Can't remember exactly when, but it was pretty recently. Maybe after this run I can take a screenshot for you to see, or not screenshot, but I can show it on my screen. Bruh. Oh my goodness, dude. Oh, I forgot I'm getting potions now. All right, you know what? let's just reset. You know, on mobile, they added a shorts watch time limit, so you can limit your shorts watch time to 5 minutes to an hour. I guess that's a step in the right direction, but the people that are deep in the shorts trenches are probably not going to make use of that, right? Sadly. Wait, I don't even know if I can show the show fewer shorts button because I don't have shorts on my feed anymore. I'm looking for that right now. And oh yeah, you guys don't see my screen. Yeah, I literally don't see shorts anymore, so like they don't show up on my feed at all right now. Oh no, here we go. Okay. It's over for them? Yeah. If someone watches shorts by doing the scrolling thing, it's so over for them. Dude, oh my goodness. So here's some shorts, right? And then show fewer shorts. Is that visible, by the way? But yeah, on the right, show fewer shorts. And then it's like, all right, we'll show you fewer shorts. Sorry. So I guess by fewer, they mean they won't show them to you very often at all, which is what it seemed to be. Wow, so much GDQ on my feed. But yeah. Oh, good. You refresh your feed and then it filled the empty space with another K drive video. Thank goodness. That's so funny. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I barely do uploads anymore, so it's probably just showing the same stuff, huh? Or like live streams. One thing to credit with YouTube's algorithm is that they take not interested or show for your source really straight. Oh yeah, dude. It's so nice to be able to just click on a video and say not interested. Like there was some like wacko garbage clickbait on my other account, which I won't show right now. But it was like some super wacko clickbait. It was like about, dude, it's about Japan. But yeah, anyway, yeah, it's kind of crazy. Had to get rid of that real fast. Like if you click those options on a video or shorts feed, it will nuke it out your Rex. Yeah, absolutely. When you start seeing a political video, you can just smite it out your Rex and it will not really show again. Right. Yeah, unlike Twitter, right? Where Twitter, you can say, I don't want to see this, and then it'll take that to say, oh, you actually want to see this again. Just not for, just like for a brief amount of time, you don't want to see it. Dude, it's so bad. Because with Twitter, they take a look at like how long you're hovered over a part of the screen to like feed you garbage, basically. And when you click like not interested in this post, you're hovered over that, you know? Like, so troll. So you'll click not interested and it won't show it to you for like maybe a couple of days, and then you go back and it'll show you the same garbage because you hovered over it. Credit to their ranker algorithms because you think it adds a lot of negative weight to the video's topic metadata channel. Yeah, I haven't done as much like exploring of the YouTube algorithm as I want to. But there was a point in time where I just realized like I don't really care that much to begin with, so I stopped thinking that much about it. You know, at a certain point, you should just make the videos you want to make, and as long as you're not reliant on, you know, as long as it's not your primary source of income, it's like it's fine. Like, obviously, if it is, then it's going to be stressful regardless. And if that's the case, like, I think shorts are kind of a requirement nowadays, you know? Yeah, I've accepted that today's not going to be like a proper runs day. It's fine. We'll just get this run over with and then switch over to Valkyrie profile. I at least got the Chaos 1 situated today, so I'm happy about that. It's too far back. Oh, right, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to know about YouTube's algorithm more, but I'm past the point of caring very much about it as well. So, you know, ship has sailed. I'm honestly surprised there are a lot of people still subscribed to this channel. It's probably just they forgot to unsubscribe. That's what usually what tends to happen. Okay, pay attention when I turn around. I'll give a look at that in full soon. Oh yeah, they add up. Yeah, I can see that being the case. I might have to do like right now for Afterimage, I have like a video comparison widget or whatever for my PB. I might have to start doing that for this game too, so I can see the time difference in backdashing. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm scared to know what the results will be, honestly. I didn't really need a potion there, but it's fine. Apparently I did. Oh, okay. Turn around as close to the ground as possible. Yeah, okay. Got it. Yeah, that's still good to know. Like, I think even if I'm not able to do it right away, that's something that I can use as like internal feedback for when I try to like lab out the backdashes. Because my goodness. I think sometimes the worst part is not really knowing what you're doing wrong, right? To lose the time. And backdashes are one of those things that feel so obscure. In the moment, at least. Biggest obvious thing? Okay, yeah. For sure. Come on. Yeah, I know for sure I'm not consistent at the backdashing. But I also don't want to be like consistently doing the wrong thing either. Like that would be the worst case scenario. Like if I learn a way to do it consistently, but then do the wrong thing consistently, then that's going to be really bad. I think we can still get through arena, but actually, can we? Probably not. We'll see. It's too hard to distill the algorithm because there's so many other algorithms that feed into it with all their own hypotheses and methodology on how to get people to click on something. And once you get down to the level, it's all confidential info. Yeah. You can really only speculate after a certain point, right? So. Okay, I don't think we can make it through arena. I have one more potion left, I think, but unless you work there, but from a creator's perspective, yeah, I can only speculate. Yeah. There was a video from what's that guy called? He does reviews of MMOs. Do you know who I'm talking about, Miguel? He was trying to speculate on why everyone's views were dropping last August. Josh Strife Hayes. Yes, that's exactly him. That's exactly him. Yeah. If you know the video I'm talking about, what are your thoughts on what he said? If you're able to say. Dude, we can make it through, but we're gonna have awful HP. Uh-oh. Okay, now the flickering thing is happening, but on my other monitor. Okay, for sure. Yeah, I'll send you a link to it. Okay, we made it through somehow, but this run's time is gonna be awful. Well, as long as I don't die to Balor. Oh my goodness, dude. Can't jump. All right. Good try. Yeah, I just don't have the nimble enough fingers today. But the Chaos 2 practice was, or Chaos 1 practice was good. Yeah, oof. Oh yeah, I added a little is it visible right now? Okay, well, I closed Live Split. I gotta open it again. But I added like a little thing for showing my playtime, which apparently was already tracking. I guess that kind of makes sense. Oh, oops, I resized it on accident. How do I... I hope it doesn't save the sizing. Okay, it didn't. Good. I don't know why it's opening on my first monitor by default. Anyway. Yeah, add a little thing for the playtime. Oh no, it doesn't even show. Gotta drag it in. That even fits. Okay, I mean, it kind of barely fits. Yeah, it's probably visible now. But yeah, I guess we'll see how long it takes for me to for me to make it to like another milestone. All right. That's all for Aria for now. In fact, that's all for this VOD of the stream. I'm going to switch over to the already scheduled VOD for Valkyrie profile. So those of you that are joining for that, I'll see you over there. Those of you that are not, thanks for watching. Hope to catch you in a future stream. And yeah, we'll be playing more Aria later in the week. Thanks, Chewy. Yeah, thanks again for helping with the commentary, by the way. That was awesome of you. I think a lot of the what's it called? A lot of the important tricks, like I think you set up the nature of it in a really good way. That was sick. It's unfortunate about the sound, but or the brief sound issue they had, but yeah. All right. Yep. Switching over to Valkyrie profile stream. See you guys there. It's gonna redirect you automatically, so no need to move anywhere.